Just one big joke. It's a fucked up world. Here we are in. I ain't going nowhere.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Reason Reborn, episode 26. We've done a half a year worth of shows. Congratulations, yay, Mazel Tov! Or I don't know. Is there an anniversary for a half a year thing?
In Jewish tradition, like I'm not a Jew, so I don't know that.
No, I'm just saying, period. Because you know how, like, if you have a year anniversary, you get this. It's the paper anniversary, which I don't understand.
No, because I'm not married, and I don't care about other people's marriages. So,
okay, so say you were married. What would your say? Oh my god! Antisocial.
You know I'm gonna be difficult no matter what, right?
Boy, answer the question.
I don't remember what the question was.
Boy, I asked about anniversaries.
What about them?
Boy, what would you call this anniversary for half a year?
What's
boy,
less
you're
than
not listening. The reason I keep saying boy is because I've been playing God of War. We both been playing God of War, and I just it's like every time he refers to it, something like only when he's like actually truly like I guess in fear of the kid's life, which seems rare in the 4 or 5 hours I played, he always refers to his son as boy. Boy this, boy that, boy do this, boy go here.
I mean,
boy
it works. I'm sitting here
boy,
like, I don't understand what I did wrong. I'm just trying to exist.
But don't you, okay, so let's get the God of War shit out first. Let's do that. We were playing God of War. Precious thoughts of the new God of War game.
Thus far?
Yeah.
Because I will say I'm only a few hours in, but like the first hour or so is already better than the entire previous trilogy, in my opinion. And not just because, you know, the graphics are better. I mean, the gameplay it's different, but I like it quite a bit the more I get used to that combat system. That axe is fucking bae, you know, fuck Mjolnir. I'm down with that axe.
Like, seriously, I heard somebody talking about that, and they were like, it just feels right. And I'm like, I wonder what they mean. And it's just like, when you throw that shit and you snap it back, that shit just like, it's so fucking cool.
Right. I don't even know how to describe it. It feels right, especially when you get really used to wielding it, because you'll like throw it at somebody and freeze them in place, then you'll switch over and like just start going hand to hand and bring it back in the middle of a combo and start smacking them again. And when that kid gets more moves, like he helps out more, it becomes weirdly fluid for a weapon that you just keep throwing around. Like,
and what I think is cool is like when you do snap it back, if something's in its path, it will hit that shit. Like, get the fuck out of my way and come back to you. So you can do damage going, and if something else is in the line of the fire, it'll hit that thing too and cause some damage to it. It's like so fucking cool.
Sometimes I'll do it on purpose. Like I'll throw it at one person, move over to the side, and then bring it back so it like trips them so they fall over like under their feet. Like when I first saw that thing, I was like, that's gonna be such a weird combat system, but it's so fucking smooth. When I was playing that, it made me think like I could see a Thor game maybe, just based on the way this axe is working out for me. I don't know how they'd manage flight, but just that combat system alone makes me think, all right, like I could see playing Thor kind of like this, I suppose. Yeah,
definitely. And it is so weird that it's actually a game based in Norse mythology that they figured out the Thor shit before even somebody decided to do some Thor shit, which is wild. Because yeah, it definitely is like Mjolnir.
That name thing though, because I don't know when he first uses the boy's name, but the second he said that, I was like, this thing has a name. I just assumed.
You know what? I actually sat and I paid attention after he kept saying it. You are damn near close to an hour into the game before he actually calls him Atreus. Because when he first said it too, I was like, oh, so he does know the boys. I was like, I know his name because of the previews and things like that. But it was like for a while, you're like, does he know his son at all? Like, what's going on here? And then he finally says it like that one time when he yells at him during combat or something. No, I think it was when he was asking him. What did he ask him to do? I don't know. It was so weird, but it's always a situation where he's extra heightenedly, like, like really, really, I guess, being a dad, which is the thing that confused me the most too. Because like, yo, this dude is actually trying to show like he has feelings somewhat, even though he's still a dick. Yo, he
feels like he's being tortured anytime he even tries to show an emotion toward that kid.
Yeah, like you've noticed a couple of times where like if the kid was upset or something happened that kind of shook the kid, he'd be like, "No, I'm not going to do this. We're not going this. Fuck that, boy. Get up." It's like all of a sudden, it's like he goes from like, "Oh, there, son," to, "Boy, if you don't move your ass," like, damn, dude. It's okay to show.
I wonder if I can just kill his emotions.
Yeah, and he keeps instructing him like, "Close yourself. Don't do like."
I always feel bad when he gets, like when you finish a fight scene and the kid's like, "How was that?" And he's like, "Show me more focus."
Right, like, dude, I just saved your ass. And by the way, that's one thing I was worried too, because I was wondering, and I know a lot of people were wondering that, and the rumors are true. This isn't an escort mission. Atreus is very, very useful, and he saved my ass a couple of times.
I was just playing, and he literally saved me from dying. Like, I was on low health. I didn't see this dude coming. And he like jumped on his back, like right when he was about to hit me. And I was like, "What the fuck?" Yeah,
no, he will get in there. He will scrap with you, and like his arrows on time, like they do have the command for you to like have him fire when you want to, but you don't have to because he knows. It seems like he knows like who to go on, and his call outs. His call outs are better than you playing a multiplayer game with your friends. I would rather play with an AI like Atreus than some of my friends on multiplayer because he'd be like, "Yo, to the left, behind you, like over there."
Yeah,
like,
he says directions, so he's like, "To your left, to your right." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
He's not just saying like, "Look out!" No, he's telling you, "It's coming to your left behind." Like, oh shit, I didn't know that was the arrow. Thank you, dude. Like,
he is weird. I wasn't expecting this because I just assumed he was going to be in the background, but he is weirdly fluid with how he works with you, especially because you can upgrade his skills too, so he can do more stuff. So like,
I just upgraded his bow, and I can't wait because now he gets. They say with his upgrades he gets extra skills, so who knows what else he's gonna do.
No, it's good. The story. I'm far more engaged in this story than I was again in the previous trilogy. The previous trilogy was pretty much just, I'm gonna fucking murder everything.
Basically,
a couple little things here and there, but for the most part, that's all it was. But here, there's this mystery, like, what is this kid's deal? What is the relationship? How is the mom shit? What's going on in this world? There's lots of intrigue all around. One thing I like about the way the story is set up is, what's his name? KRATOS is, his knowledge about the world is probably the same as most of our knowledge about that world.
Yeah, so he has to lean on Atreus because, like I said, he'd be like, "Boy, could you read this? What does it say?" Like, and boy, what is that? And
he explained some of the mythology and stuff too, which you and I were talking about it probably yesterday. We don't seem to know very much about Norse mythology, which I guess because it's just not as popular in America. I don't know, for whatever reason. But it's nice when KRATOS will like ask, what is this? Who is this god? Did your mother say anything about, this mythology? And the kid has to explain pretty much as best he knows about it. So it's like the designer of the game knew that you probably wouldn't know as much about this mythology as you would about, say, Greek mythology. So he just kind of crafted it in such a way that it will teach you along the way.
Yeah, honestly, I could think of 4 names, and this was even before the movie Thor came out. So I knew these before Thor. Don't think Thor just taught me this, but like Valkyrie, Thor, Odin, and Loki were names that were common to me. Like everything else, okay, I don't know. So it's kind of weird because when you see and when he tells you things, it's like, oh, that's pretty fucking cool. It's like, and also the journal. How much do you look at the journal?
Almost every time a new entry is added.
Yeah, I do too. Because his basically they have a journal, and Atreus is the one writing the journal. You could tell that it's him writing it because he's talking like a kid, but at the same time, he's giving you good details. It's like, yeah, this was really, really cool. Me and Father met this here, but this is what it does. And, sometimes I notice when Father throws the axe this way, or if, you can't really use the axe against this, but if you do this, he actually He fucking writes in the journal instructions on how to beat everybody. So even if you forget, he will let you. You can go to that damn journal and you know how to beat everything because of our trade.
It gets you more details like the longer you fight them. So the first time you see one of those creatures, it might be like, it's from this mythology. Mother told me about this. And then a couple more times he'll write down more detailed notes like, maybe this weapon doesn't work as good. These things explode, whatever. Like it's a really well put together system. I'm really enjoying this game so far.
Yeah.
And by really enjoying it, I mean like it's probably still on now. I just switched my screen over.
Yeah, and it's funny because I figured you'd be playing during. I don't have it on because literally before we started, I just got in the house not too long ago. So I just was setting up everything. But yeah, and this is amazing for me because who the fucking thought I would be hyped about a God of War game? As much shit as I talked about that game, but I'm very, very curious to see where this goes in this world and how it expands because I don't know where you are, but I'm at a point now where I'm going to actually start exploring, I guess, the breadth of the world because of something I got, a couple of things that I've gotten to, which seems to mean that the world's going to get a lot more cooler. So
I feel like I might be a little bit after that. So I think we're around the same part.
Okay.
But
we're not talking about because I'm not trying to give spoilers.
No, yeah. I was trying to figure out how to describe because it's weird. It's like I'm not sure how to describe to each other like where we are without spoiling some things.
Yeah.
It's not clear whether I'm ahead or before you. But I felt the same way. I finished playing God of War 3 on Friday, I think. Not because I needed to play this game. I'm just kind of completionist that way. And I'd already played the first two. And I'm not gonna lie, playing through the third at some point I was starting to feel like pulling teeth. Like I was like, oh my god, I don't really want to play this. But my mind won't let me not finish this. So when this came out, I was like, I'll start it up and play through it a little bit, and I just could not stop until like 2 a.m. And then the second I got home, I was like starting it up again, trying to get an hour or so in before we started. So it is really great so far, and I'm not even that far in. So.
Yeah, definitely. I cannot wait to see what else this thing has to offer. Really good game they made. But anyway.
Probably have to give like a more detailed thing after. Well.
Yeah, afterwards we probably talk for like 3 hours about this shit.
I was gonna mention the spoilers thing, but I guess we could just say spoilers or something ahead of time.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely want to do that, and I probably would need to time stamp it, but I would just wait till afterwards because I don't want to ruin it. I know a lot of people have already beaten it and rushed through it and all that, but
it came out yesterday. No, it came out Sunday.
No, Friday.
Right. Oh, yes. I was doing something on Monday that I needed to prepare for, so I didn't play it till today or yesterday.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like people are always in a rush to beat things these days. Like, yo, this game just came out Friday, and from what I hear, it's like 20, 25 hours to beat. What the fuck are y'all doing? Like, what did you do this weekend other than play God of War?
Yeah, it's a good week, man. Got God of War. Infinity War is coming out this week.
I know. Oh, I'm still waiting for my friends to tell me about the tickets. I'm kind of pissed because I feel like we're not going to be going this weekend.
Now that you say that, make sure I got my ticket in here.
Yeah. But it's cool. I mean, I will be happy to go to the 1:20 showing, 1:20 a.m. that they have.
I'm kind of mad. I let some coworkers talk me into going at 8 on Thursday.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's terrible because that means there's going to be a shit ton of people there.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a shit ton of people there anyway. I know here, I remember like for Black Panther, we were trying to get like really early shows because we both took off, and me and my friend, and like the 10 in the morning show was sold the fuck out. Like, what the fuck? It's a Thursday. Should y'all be at work?
I didn't have that problem. I guess I guess I live in a smaller city. There's probably lots more people in your cities.
Yeah, see here, it's like the movie theaters that people go to basically are surround DC, so everybody are willing to go within a 20, 30 mile radius to see some shit. And it's like in that radius, that shit could be sold out. Yeah.
Yeah, could we God of War this Personally, I can't wait for the Jane Foster Thor finale in the comics, making me sad.
Oh yeah, that too. It's a good week for entertainment, definitely. Damn, I cannot wait for the Infinity War. Oh my god. Anyway, let's move on to the more depressing stuff. So, all right, first up, Democratic Party is suing Trump and his campaign. Because why not? So, because a major lawsuit from the Democratic National Committee targeting Russia, the Trump campaign, and WikiLeaks conspiring to help the president win the 2016 election.
It refers to the breach, I guess, that happened during the Trump-Hillary war, is what I refer to it as now. That thing was a surprise to me, especially while the Mueller investigation is still going on. I don't know if they'd been talking about that before and I just missed it. It just came out as an announcement one day that I noticed last week.
Yeah, what I find funny is that in a couple of instances they made mention of specific people like Stone, who everybody knows was a really big component of the campaign team. They named Manafort. So it's like, goddamn, bruh, what else are you getting charged for? Your life. Like
the names, man.
Richard Gates, George Papadopoulos. And mind you, all these names I'm naming, Jared Kushner was also put in it. And Donald Trump Jr. And mind you, most of these names that I've named are people who are already under indictment or have cop pleas over this Russia thing. So clearly they must feel like there's some type of weight to this. The lawsuit refers to Trump's campaign as a racketeering enterprise that sought to exploit the DNC's trade secrets. And that's funny because they put it racketeering, which means that they're sort of going for like a RICO thing, which means that they feel like they were all conspiring to cheat the government, which I tell you, it's a solid lawsuit. It's like at first I'm sitting there reading and I'm like, this seems like real petty shit, but it's like, well, kind of makes sense because it is kind of falls under, just like what I was saying about Cohen, about them going after him. There's a case for RICO to be enacted. And yeah, if you're conspiring to do stuff like this, yeah.
I mean, I've seen some people suggest that it might be petty. In defense of them, though, like Mueller's investigation, for example, isn't centered around that DNC hack. It's centered around collusion and obstruction of justice, those two, which are not directly concerned with punishing them for this illegal hacking stuff that happened. So it seems like they ought to sue them because they're not getting punished for that particular problem yet, at least as far as I know. Unless Mueller's also going to like slap them in the face for that too.
I have a suspicion Mueller would, but he's probably trying to build up even more. And that's the beauty of this lawsuit too, is that they already have ready-made evidence that they can possibly draw from. On top of, you got the public opinion because you have these stories and these leaks coming out all the time about different people's involvement and different things. It's a hard case to fight. I don't want to fight that case at all.
I would hope you shouldn't have broken those crimes or committed those crimes in the first place. But
and that's the thing. Of course, Trump's tweeting about it and how wrong it is and blah, blah, blah. It's a sham, scandal, and stuff like that. But it's like, none of this would have happened if they would have just kept their nose clean.
They are in a sea of scandal and lawsuits from every. I made a joke before we started. Like this, they're getting sued from like every fucking direction. Trump himself's getting, he's in legal trouble with this porn star, probably that playmate. I can't remember which one of those actually result in any lawsuits or legal battles, but
the porn star is the one who's suing.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if there were any other ones because there's lots of allegations.
Oh
Of him
no,
trying to
you're
shut
right.
people up with
Because isn't
money and
there?
stuff.
Well, not them directly, but isn't one of the maybe it's the Playmate or one of the Playmates is suing National Enquirer for burying the story.
Oh, I believe so. Yeah, that catch and kill stuff.
Yeah,
It's getting hard to keep track of who is suing who now at this point, because they're all like suing each other and suing other people. It's
which is sad.
clusterfuck. But yeah, like Trump in legal battle with these women, he keep trying to fucking shut up. Got this financial stuff with Cohen largely. Obviously, the collusion and obstruction of justice cases that he has with the DOJ. Like, this dude is getting it from all sides, man.
Yeah, and then that Comey memo thing that dropped, I think that kind of hurt this department when people started reading snippets from Comey's memos about how he would bring up subjects like the Russia thing, like prostitutes in Russia, without being solicited and things like that. It's like, okay, so y'all might want to calm down and not say anything because you've already put yourself in a shitstorm with a private meeting with the FBI director who took notes.
Which he never should have done in the first place.
He should never have called that man in. He had no reason to, whatsoever. I
don't know if it just didn't process to him that would, even if he hadn't said anything particularly troubling, that would look bad. Like, you're the president. Don't call this motherfucker in for your private meetings. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Basic shit, yeah.
But see, it's basic to most people. To him, is it?
I mean, fair, but I guess the point I was making, there's so much of what happens to him, despite his claims that everybody's out to get him, is just self-inflicted. He just does things that nobody else would fucking do. Like, we're not just bullying you because you're Trump. I mean, you're getting flack for a lot of this stuff because other people just don't do that. They know better through common sense, not even just political awareness, just common sense shit about how our government is supposed to function.
Yeah, and I mean, this is not unique for a president to get criticism for his actions, which makes it even more perplexing.
Mistakes, though.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, dude, you were one of us criticizing the president on Twitter. You know how the game goes.
I wish you wouldn't have said us, but okay.
But you know what I mean. Like, I'll reframe that. You were someone in the general public who did the same thing. Okay, that's I need to clarify that because I don't mean that we're like Trump, for God's sakes.
But I mean, that is how I view Trump. He's just one of these people that always complain nonstop about whoever the president is. I mean, the only difference between him and a lot of older people who just watch news and bitch is that he became president while doing it. So.
Yeah. It's so sad.
I mean, for all those people who are like, he's one of us, he's an outsider. Like, yeah, there's a reason he was on the outside.
Yeah, exactly. Alas, people won't get it. By the way, are you excited that he announced his campaign for 2020?
Like, officially?
Yeah, he did last week. Officially, he announced that he's going to be running. And, of course, the Republicans aren't openly endorsing him. Everybody seems to be very hesitant.
So, I'm not trying to be, sarcastic here, but hasn't he already been campaigning, this whole time for 2020? I mean, He's doing fucking rallies and all these random talks, every week or so.
Yes, he has been campaigning.
It didn't occur to me that he had to officially announce. I guess I just thought it was generally accepted that he was going to do that just based on his behavior.
Yeah, no. You do have to formally announce. You would have thought that it was just something he did, matter of fact, before, but no, he's now officially running for president.
I'm pretty sure he was never in not campaign mode, which is why it seems shocking to me that he would bother. Because him saying that feels like him getting on Twitter and saying, "Did you guys know the sky's blue?" I guess.
Yeah, no, he's constantly trying to convince people of his how valuable and how good he is. And it's like, dude, stop it. We just saw you do. It's like that person who tries to say they didn't steal something, even though yesterday we all saw him in the store robbing it or something like that. It's like,
and
dude,
it's on camera, and he confessed one time, but is now
right,
not confessing anymore.
right. But it's like, how are you lying to me? Like, stop. Like, I don't necessarily understand his logic, to be quite honest, but I don't want to understand his logic. I don't want to be that person. I really don't. I would not want to be that type of person. That would bother the hell out of me. But good for you, I guess, Donald. Good luck.
I mean, if he makes it to 2020, I will be fucking shocked. Just be, like let's pull the idea of impeachment out of the way for a second. Just the amount of different legal battles he's in right now. Yeah. He's gonna survive all of them. It would be one thing if it was just one particular scandal. He's got like half a dozen at least at any given time. If he survives all of them, then we should just give him the presidency because clearly he's fucking bulletproof. There's
no that, and clearly we got a government that don't really give a fuck, or people seem not to give a fuck. Because if he could survive this, yeah, you might as well.
Major social problem and probably some major legal problems that we need to close up, because if you can get away with this much, there's too many holes in the law, essentially.
Yeah, and again, this goes. It helps though to me because it lends to my whole argument about how we need to restructure and write a lot of our government policies, because a lot of that shit is just holding a time where either it wasn't a concern because it hadn't been invented yet or created yet, it hadn't been a part of our world, or that just in general, we're put there actually to be temporary, but we just kind of forgot to not, or decided to manipulate it in our advantage to where it's worth something. It's less like, I don't get it. I really don't. And it doesn't help either that, again, you have a Congress that seems to be within agreement with him on a lot of things to get what they want. So it's just all madness right now.
I'm curious to see how this November is going to go. It's going to be very telling for what we can expect in 2020.
Yeah, if the Democrats don't win the Senate and don't pick up a good portion of seats, I don't expect them to win the House of Representatives. I feel like that's an insurmountable task. That's just me. That being said, if they do well in it and win the Senate and things don't change, I'm going to be very, very upset and demoralized. But on the flip side, if they don't win the Senate and they don't win a lot of houses in the House of Representatives, I'm still going to be mad and very, very disappointed just in humanity as a whole at that point, because like, why would you want to subjugate yourselves to a couple of more years? And it's not that I hate Republicans. I just hate these Republicans. These Republicans are horrible human beings who need to go and be replaced by some fresh blood.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, when people talk about Democrats winning, these houses, it's like, I wish we didn't have to talk about it in those terms. Because again, I've said it before, in theory, it shouldn't really matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican as long as you have some reasonable ideas. We might not align perfectly, but if your ideas are not insane, we can probably work with it. But a lot of them have been proven to be a problem, especially during this Trump regime that is ruling over us now. It's like so many of them just kind of don't have a fucking spine when it comes to dealing with this guy, either because some of them kind of get what they want despite all the damage he's doing while giving it to them, or I have to think some of them just really, I don't really know. I don't know what their deal is. I was going to say some of them really do like and admire him. I don't quite understand it.
The like and admire comes from his money to me.
but he's not that well.
Yeah, he's not that rich, but
I mean, he's rich. He's not poor. He certainly got more money than me, so I'm not trying to like shit talk the guy or anything. But I don't know. It is odd, especially when you have so many of them, because very few Republicans really seem to stand up to this guy in any meaningful way. I mean, your fucking Speaker of the House certainly didn't on any level. That Paul Ryan guy with his handsome face.
God, he
didn't save us.
Useless. He's such a useless human being to me. He just sits quietly in the corner and lets shit goes down just to get what he wants. Like it would not like surprise me if he didn't if we had a story about him letting some other guy beat the shit out of his wife and him not doing anything. I feel like that's the type of dude he is right about now.
I mean, honey, you should have said good afternoon. I mean,
yeah, he'd stand there literally physically watching this happen. Just be like, well,
he's leaving though,
right?
After having succeeded, lowering the debt like he did.
Yeah.
Which is what he certainly claims.
Whatever. Shut up, Paul.
It's nice to ignore reality.
Yeah, it must be. Shit, I wish I could ignore it for a good 4 years of my life like they do. Like, jeez. All right. So, moving on to the next topic. And fuck them. I hope they lose this lawsuit. I hope they get sued out there. And
Democrat lawsuit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was about to say which one, but I stopped because it kind of depressed me to say that.
Yeah, it's depressing that all these things seem to blur together, don't they? All right. Speaking of blurring together, Rudy Giuliani has a new job. He is now part of Trump's legal team and has been boasting about how he's good enough to help Trump get off. And they're reviewing documents and reviewing what a shock staff members that they may need to push out. I think a couple of judges got fired. When was this? Jeez, Friday maybe. Oddly enough, I believe one of them was a Trump supporter. So who knows? But Giuliani and a couple of other lawyers, wife and husband team, have joined his campaign because he can't hire no lawyers. I mean, that's just the bottom line. That's just the bottom line. He can't even get bargain basement lawyers anymore. Yet he goes to a 73-year-old, long since practice lawyer only by the definition of the term written on his goddamn diploma at this point, because he's not a practicing attorney or judge or anything like that. He's heading up the anti-Russia investigation, which I tell you, I'd say wish you luck, except for I don't think you have any because you got the wrong person on your goddamn team.
Sir, this guy is a legend. He's very skilled.
Let's be honest.
He's handling legal shit all day.
Let's be totally honest. Giuliani's legacy, quote unquote, has been pretty shaky over the years, especially when people from the city of New York totally don't agree with his assessment of himself. A lot of people feel like he's laundered money. Of course, he seems to have shown implicit bias against people of color. His quote unquote crackdown on crime in New York, he didn't really do the thing that he wanted it to do, except for it made it so if you needed to get your car inspected or some law, you were going to get a hard time if you didn't take care of it by Giuliani. So, what are your thoughts on this guy being on this team?
I mean, I tend to think of this team as like a revolving door. So, like when that was announced, I didn't really think much about it because this guy has different individuals flowing into and out of his legal team all the time. He does not have a stable, strong team to really back him up, which is many reasons for. One, just his reputation. You know, he's known for not paying. He's a loudmouth who can't shut the fuck up. So plenty of people are just kind of afraid he's going to purge himself in most cases anyway. So it's like, I give him the first 5 weeks and then he's probably going to be gone. I don't know.
You give him that long? Wow. I personally don't think that he's going to last that long. Because I don't think he wants to sink with that ship.
You say that, but he got on the ship in the first place. So.
This is true.
It's not like it was the Titanic where it was like a nice, beautiful ship that you thought was safe and then it sank. Like, it is a ship that has been sinking and then he got on. So
no, it's a leaky rust bucket. I agree. But he seems to want to be there. So
I love the way Trump just won't acknowledge, though, that he's having these problems with his legal personnel. Because anytime he tweets about it, he's always like, you know, everybody wants to work, you know, for me. Legal team is great guys, blah, blah, blah. He never seems to admit that he's having this problem, which I guess you could argue that he shouldn't, but it's just another example of this weird delusional state he always seems to be in. Yeah. He's got the old clincher here. Is Cohen doing any work nowadays?
Yeah, he's working on keeping himself out of jail.
I was gonna, you know, Cohen is like one of his lawyers, I guess, but he's probably so fucking busy with his own problems at this point.
That's the thing. Even when he wasn't being investigated or arrested, his practice was a very selective thing. He was that specialty guy that a lot of people use, but it wasn't like you probably get records because look at the made up names he came up with for that shit. Like the what was it he called? He called somebody in the Stormy Daniels thing, one of the male people. He said that he looked like a senator or former senator or something like that. It's like, really, dude? You can get this senator shot by some overzealous fool. Like, why would you put that name out?
He's not a bright guy. I don't know what to tell you on that front. Maybe, yeah, if you're looking for a new job, you could join Trump's legal team. He'll take anybody. Well, maybe if you've been like on TV or something.
He's gonna end up with a bunch of like pre-bar lawyers who do pro bono work. Watch.
I don't think so. I think he'll probably get like Judge Judy or something. Like he has this weird fixation with TV personalities.
You know what?
Putting them in roles. So, I mean, you hear people talking about it every once in a while, but he does this a lot where you just see somebody on TV and it's like, that's the guy or gal. And then you just put them in some random position in government because that's how we do it, I guess. Wasn't Mike Bolton on TV when he was looking at this guy?
Probably.
I might be thinking of somebody else, but it's not uncommon with him, which ought to be alarming because, you know, we're one channel surf away from having Big Bird as the Secretary of State.
I'm just waiting for the triumphant return of Omarosa.
She's coming back in season 3 of this reality show we're watching.
I ain't watching no more. I only like watch the news, and then I get to see him by, proxy with that. I'm not trying to go out of my way to see this. Nah, I don't care for him. Speaking about who not giving a fuck about Trump or what he says, to be more specific, Nikki Haley is becoming everybody's hero in the Trump administration. So earlier last week, she came out and mentioned that the United States had a plan. We're ready to drop sanctions on Russia. All right, cool. We kind of expected that since he finally broke, his habit of not complaining about Russia, decided to complain. Well, apparently not everybody can complain. because Nikki Haley was in the UN. And it's like, yeah, we're gonna put these sanctions, and then stupid ass Huckabee Sanders come out. It's like, no, clearly we didn't say that. She must have. What was the thing they said she was? She was confused, right?
Was it her that said that? I was trying to.
Well, it was during the press conference.
I don't think it was.
Oh, was it a dude? Okay, so it was somebody in the White House that said that basically Nikki Haley was confused. There's no sanction. To which Nikki Haley was like, "Bitch, I don't get confused." She didn't say the bitch part. She might as well have said that because
but that's
she might as well have said. But yeah, exactly.
She said, "With all due respect, I do not get confused." And I remember her seeing that headline last week during like the end of the show. There was like this part where I just started like giggling or laughing just because I saw that line, and I just couldn't contain myself. Oh my god, the sass though. I don't know that how much I care about her, but it was just a good line. You go, U.S. ambassador to the United Nations there. Good job.
Yeah, because like I don't know what he thought he was going to get out of that, saying that about his agent.
I mean, we want to throw in, if it means preserving the president, we'll throw anybody under the bus.
But didn't you just throw him under the bus by making a comment and having her reply? Like, don't you throw yourself under the bus when we see the pictures of you in those horrible pants?
Yo, yeah. I mean, they probably thought she might play along or that she wouldn't like stand up for herself. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, it's a habit because you notice he says things. He likes to say things about people and harass them. I forget what the article was or who he was talking about, but there was a particular person within the administration that Trump had tapped for something. And part of the problem with the relationship was that he got a kick out of constantly berating this person about his looks, his money, whatever. And like, wait, so you're going to work for this dude after he just basically treated you like shit?
Who was this?
I forget who it was. But it was something, it was an excerpt from like a book or something, which, by the way, why are there so many books about this man?
He's not getting a dime. That must kill him.
Yeah, it has to, because it's like 50,000 books about Trump. Trump gets not 1 red cent.
Yes, I've seen like at least 6, gone through 2 or 3. No, I think just 2 at this point. Like, he's very book worthy, I guess. Not for the right reasons, but
yeah,
that is something to be said. But yeah, this mixed message shit that they're doing is really problematic. I mean, you know, as I said it last week. You have Trump saying we're pulling our soldiers out, and then he does this little strike over in Syria. He'll say that nobody's been harder on Russia than him, and then he just pulls back. Anytime somebody's like, yeah, we're going to do these sanctions shit, you're making your own UN ambassador look stupid the same way you make so many other of the White House staff look stupid. I mean, she's not White House staff, but you know what I mean? Just people in our government that are supposed to be holding high positions that he keeps undercutting and making them look stupid as shit. It's not great for us. It's weird times. Your UN ambassador shouldn't have to like clap back on you for that type of stuff.
No, you sent her out to negotiate and discuss things with the world, and you're letting them know, oh, she's stupid. She don't know anything.
Which, if you were, delivering a consistent message, that might not happen. Because too often we keep hearing about Trump not being in line with different departments, and it's like, of course he's not in line with them because he's not in line in general. He's always shifting his opinion every 10 seconds. How can you be in line with this motherfucker? I'm sure she had very good reason to believe that those sanctions she was referring to were going to be enacted. So
she should be aligned with a bottle of liquor, so every night she can deal with this administration, but it's.
I mean, it's probably a good boost of popularity for her to do that. So.
Well, also it's detrimental because from the other countries and she's proposing something, I was like, why should we believe you from what your president said? You're not trustworthy.
I mean, that's going to be bad for her no matter what. She can't escape the fact that the administration is a clusterfuck. But I don't know what to say about it other than dark times.
Whatever. What's the last story that I sent you? No, it's next to last because Korea has sent the message that they are not going to continue their nuclear program. Now, of course, we know Trump's going to take credit.
I mean, it's all thanks to him, though. So,
yeah, clearly Pompeo must have did the best job in the world.
It's just so. I don't know. It's so odd that this is happening with him there. Because one, I feel like it tells people that, yeah, see, Trump is great. Something good is happening in the world. And he is taking credit for that shit. Like, I was playing, like, pick this tweet a little earlier. Here it is. This was like 2 days ago. Funny how all of the pundits who couldn't come close to making a deal with North Korea are now all over the place telling me how to make a deal. Like, why are you so fucking childish? You're an adult.
Right. First of all, how do you know they didn't know how to make a deal? How do you know they didn't talk to him? Things fell apart. Second, it's been government policy not to. You broke that policy, and it turned out good. Kudos for you. But thirdly, fuck cares? You did your job. Congratulations. Get the fuck out of face.
I just don't imagine other presidents doing this. And a lot of people will say, like, Obama wouldn't have. Fuck Obama for a second. Would Bush have acted like that?
He didn't.
We didn't have Twitter like that back then, but if we did, would he as a grown-ass man be on Twitter being like, these fucking stupid pundits thought they know what they were doing? I'm Trump, or I'm Bush, I'm the greatest. I know how to make all the deals. Like, no other president would behave this way.
Right.
Most adults wouldn't behave this way, but I feel like we should be able to hold a president to a higher standard than the average adult anyway. So,
well, that's the thing. Do we have an average adult in office? That's the problem. We don't have an adult in our office because we could, be holding him much more accountable. But at the same time, what good is it going to do if he's just going to do what he always does and somehow skirt around it and go plays with his toys while the big boys fix it?
His ego is so out of fucking control. I don't think I've ever given myself as many compliments in life as he does on a daily basis. Maybe
I
that
don't
speaks to
compliment myself. I mean, who does that? Good job, Michael. You're looking good, Michael. Oh, that tie looks lovely on you, Michael. McDonald's sounds good, Michael. You eat McDonald's the best. Like, what are you getting out of it?
Well, you shouldn't eat McDonald's. That's bad. Except the apple pie. That shit is good.
Okay. Sure. Now you're going to get up and go get apple pie after we close. I know it.
I haven't gone to a McDonald's in years.
Really?
Whenever I get an apple pie, somebody else just happens to be at a McDonald's and they get it for me.
I found that very interesting. So you never went to go just get a milkshake because milkshake's awesome.
Nope.
Really? No McFlurry?
Not at all. If I get anything from there, it's somebody else that just offers me something. So maybe once every year or so.
You've never gotten any. Oh, wow.
Never. Just not in some years.
Okay. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, geez. Some of that stuff I can do without, but at the same time, I want to. No. All right, I'm done being creeped out. But yeah.
I mean, we can bring up you not eating greens if we're gonna fucking go there.
We can go there. Yes, I'm a black man who doesn't eat greens. Deal with it.
So are you really a black man now?
I know, and it was funny because when long story short is somebody brought something to work and asked me if I was going to try some. I was like, no, I don't eat greens, and they just seemed completely thrown for a loop. I don't eat greens. I'm like, no, I don't like them. They're like, really? Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
So I feel like that must be like an American black people thing, because like my family is Jamaican, and I don't recall anybody ever talking about that particular food as though it was just like a staple of our culture.
Yeah, no, you've missed that. You've missed the whole soul food debate that I've had until the age of 14 over why I don't eat certain things and why I don't just find them appealing.
I mean, I've seen it, you know, as a black person, but it's more from the outside because it's just not an issue in my family. Like our food is Jamaican food, so
yeah, your foods are good.
So, like the things like around Thanksgiving time when my American black friends are putting up their food, there was like the typical black American foods, and I'm always just weirded out. Like, man, you guys all eat the same fucking thing.
Yeah, and I think that's why she sorry, I had to respond to a message. But I think that's why she responds that way, and that's why a lot of black people respond that way when they hear me say that. Because it's all like it's a part of your, you can say part of your heritage as well as just how you were raised. Like I remember being the black sheep as a kid, because even at a younger age, I didn't want to eat those, and I would go without dinner because I didn't want that shit. It's like I don't eat soul food. Period. There's some things I might, but I don't eat them probably prepared the way like a quote unquote typical black American family would prepare them. But just nah. Y'all be fighting over squash to fry up with bacon and shit like that.
What?
Like, you've never had that? Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
That is a thing. People fry squash in bacon grease and then use the squash in something else. I forget what my mom would put it in. Or she would use the bacon grease for her greens if she didn't have a big piece of pork to throw in there from the rib.
Yeah, I guess I'm only black from a distance.
Yeah, no,
like even this fixation with like pork is not that heavy for us. So it's like we have pork or whatever, but it's not like
if you look at most soul food recipes, you realize that a lot of it is very much pork based or grease based. It's like no, like my mom when she would cook greens, she had to have she used to first use just hog maws, which don't ask me what hog maws is a thing. It is to use as her quote unquote seasoning for the greens, but as people got more health conscious, it was smoked turkey next. Then
what?
Yeah,
I had to Google what hog maw is.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to avoid that conversation and hope you were going to ask because, again, soul food is soul food. Oh my god! Like I get the idea and I understand where soul food comes from.
Where does it come from? Because it can't be from...
If slavery, it's straight up slavery.
Oh my god!
A lot of the stuff that we eat is stuff that we were given that were leftovers from what like the pig, the parts of the pig that were going to be thrown away. We were like animals given the scraps, and we figured out a way to make them appealing, to make substances like hog maws and pig's feet and all that stuff. A lot of that stuff comes from shit. This is the only type of meat that we have, or the only protein that we're going to get. So let's figure out how to make this worth eating. And somehow we figured out how that, and it's become a staple of African American family.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. But no, it literally comes from us eating it like garbage and giving garbage to eat.
I'm not gonna act like we don't eat like anything's feet in Jamaica, but like I don't know how to explain it. Like from an outsider's point of view, it always seems like because I was aware of
well, go ahead and say what hog maws are, since you already know.
Hog maw is the stomach of a pig. More specifically, it is the exterior muscular wall of the stomach organ, which contains no fat if cleaned properly. Like, oh my god! But
yeah,
so we have whatever shit we have in Jamaican cuisine or whatever, but from the outside perspective, for me, it always seemed like there was this weird, in African American cuisine, this weird attachment to that, slavery era stuff. Like I made a joke one time, which did not go over well for me, that food that you're so proud of is slave food. And people were not happy with me when I said that, but I said it for a reason, because it was like, I get this is part of the culture, but the culture was rooted in slavery, so
yeah, and
have to eat.
And that's the thing. It is truly, a lot of that stuff is truly rooted. The way it's made and some of the things that are cooked in there, we were just using what we had to survive, because that's what we were given. It just became a part of our cuisine, which, again, people look at me funny. It's like, why don't you eat soul food? And to be fair, not all soul food is based on those things, because, greens aren't. Cornbread isn't.
No, I mean, there's perfectly fine stuff within the soul food circle, but it's like the particular stuff that must have come out of slavery, because nobody would just choose to eat that. Like, because I think what really got me in trouble back then was like, I think I asked something like, why do you keep eating it if you're not slaves anymore? What's the point? You can just have regular food, right? You can afford it. So
no, it's like growing up African American, it's been passed down. It's going to continue to be passed down, because, again, as a kid, I was, people wanted to feed me these things because that's what they ate. That's what you were taught to eat. That's what you were taught to cook. I just happened to be one of those, jackass kids that would actually stood up and said, no, this shit is not. It was like ham hocks and all of that stuff. No, I'm not.
I mean, I think, at the time when I brought that shit up, I was younger, so I don't think I recognized the cultural attachment that had built up around that, because I was already fairly aware. Then me just like looking at that food, you're like, there must be something in the history that caused this to happen, because it's weirdly centered around all the parts that nobody should want to fucking eat. So it's like,
yeah. No, that is it. It seriously is. Like, your joke probably didn't register well, because nobody wants to say that. You know what I mean?
Well, at the time, I wasn't sure it even registered to them the point that I was making, because, to your point, they just grew up with this food for generations, so they probably don't even really. It probably doesn't register to them that is the root of why they're eating that way.
Yeah.
Because I never get the sense that when they're bringing up this food, like, black soul food, good food, blah, 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 that they are with pride calling back to, the race surviving slavery or something. Like, it never feels like this cultural point that they're trying to make so much as just what they think of as black food that they're used to.
Yeah, and no, again, like I said, not all of it, because stuff like fried chicken and macaroni and cheese is considered soul food.
What should happen? Like, next 20 years, black people should just all become vegetarians.
That would be funny.
Because I'm sure there's like so much business just centered around the idea that black people are eating this shit.
Yeah,
we just all stopped. Nobody else is buying that type of stuff, so wreck a few economies over there. I don't know.
I mean, and again, also to be fair, it wasn't just us with some of the stuff. It's a lot of it is like born from Southern things. It's just that some of it was adapted by us. So I don't know. I just don't really eat so. It's like, have I eaten fried chicken? Sure. I've eaten macaroni and cheese on occasion, but I don't eat stuff like fried okra. Or okra and tomatoes. Yeah. Chicken gizzards? No.
I mean, it's not like African American blacks are the only ones with weird food. Like there is blood pudding or whatever the fuck it is. But.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of the stuff though actually seems to have come from intentionally wanting to try this, as opposed to we don't have a choice but to eat this.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it would. I probably wouldn't think about it as much as I did at the time if, like, if they just said, I don't know, this is a way for us to connect with our slave ancestors or something. Like, if it felt like it was intentional that you're keeping this tradition going, you're doing it for an intentional reason, I'd be like, well, that's fucking weird, but you do you. But
no, it's just become a delicacy to a lot of that stuff to us, and it's like, that's not a delicacy, but all right.
So I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this, but I wonder how that stuff affects your health.
Why do you think black people have a lot of hypertension and shit like that?
Because the man is keeping us down.
Yeah, okay. You're eating like, even when it's not a pork product, you have pork all over again. Again, I just told you about the fried squash thing where you put fucking bacon fat in it, or bacon grease in it, like, or fat grease, or use fatback grease. Oh, that's just like, we grease ourselves up and put all the cholesterol in a lot of our things. Again, fried chicken, a common staple of soul food. Fried fish. Hell, I've known people who don't eat seafood unless it's fried. It's like, even when you bake certain things, like you bake certain dishes, you will still find a piece of pork somewhere in that for some reason, or something like there's something high in cholesterol, something that's high saturated in fat, or in salt. Like it's weird how we've taken so much of a love for salt.
I don't really tend to cook with salt all that much.
I don't either. Like my salt intake, like, I have a heart disease. That's mostly because I ate out too much over the last few years because of work and stuff like that. But when I cook, I don't really use salt. I don't use salt at all anymore. But
but I guess the point was, like, you don't really, depending on what you're making, you don't have to. Like, some things have a natural kind of salty content to them, so it's not always warranted to do it.
Yeah, but no, it's like crabs. Crabs is a good example. Crabs have enough sodium in there, and being a sea, from sea water, you do get its natural salt because it's spent this time in fucking salt water all the time,
I mean, it's something I complain about when I'm cooking. Like, sometimes you'll make something sweet that has, like, fruits in it, and you'll see people add a bunch of sugar, and it's like, but the fruit has sugar. It's already sweet. You don't have to do that. Like, when people cook, they seem to, they're not cooking with any thought behind it. They just have certain rules in the back of their head, like add sugar, add salt, fry, depending on what it is, add chocolate or something. Like, there's like these random rules of thumb that they have kind of developed, and they don't really think about whether it should apply to a particular meal.
Yeah, no. But it's just like I was saying with the crab thing. Okay, you get crabs. Crabs are already there. Everybody douses in Old Bay seasoning, which is full of salt. Yeah.
I was going to say, I brought up the African American food health thing because in America, a lot of the food, I mean, it's probably better now that we're also health conscious, but a lot of the food isn't that healthy to begin with. So it's not like you don't want to compound bad food with more bad food, because regular American food is probably going to be a bit of a problem for you anyway.
Right. Yeah, we do it. We do it. Yeah. And
Next week we'll have to be the cooking show or something.
And you know, sodium affects us as African Americans worse than anybody else. And it's like, but we so jump on it. It's just like, all right, so today at work, I bought some potato chips. Now, most people, again, like I've said, I have a heart condition. I shouldn't really be eating salt. But what I do is I found a brand of potato chips that have no salt on them, and that are like a bag is like 3 servings, but it's like 5 grams of sodium per serving because they don't salt the chips. So if I ate a whole bag of those potato chips, I'd get only 15 milligrams of sodium, which fine. You know what I mean? The cholesterol is not that high either because of the way they make them. So, you know, it's like, okay, this is something I could eat. I can still get the sensation of eating potato chips without the effects of potato chips, which is fine by me because, you know, for me at this point in my life, it's like it's not necessarily things being the way they were, but just like it comforts me to know that I can eat a potato chip, even though it's not killing me like the regular potato chip. You know what I mean? You know, like it's weird. Like,
yeah, I have the same way. Like, you know, I'm attempting to diet, which I do fairly well on most of the time until like every week or so. I'm like, you know what's great? Cookies. And then I ruin fucking everything.
Yeah,
but
chocolate is my Achilles.
But you know, to that point, like one of the things I had kind of backed off on was like spaghetti because it's so easy to fucking make. And I just found myself eating like pasta all the time. And it's like, it's not that it's bad, but it is a lot of carbs to be intaking that as much as I was. So I backed off of it for a while. And I was like, man, I miss having pasta. So I started looking up like alternatives. And I started eating like zucchini noodles. So you get a zucchini, you like run it through a spiralizer. It creates these little noodle stuff. I get the same sensation like I cook it with, you know, pasta sauce and make meatballs and shit. I get that same sensation with like way less carbs, way less issues for me. It's a lot less calories too. So in general, it's like, because what I find is it's not inherently the particular food that I want. It's just kind of like mental feeling that I've had it. So I don't always need to get that particular thing. People who say like, you know, how could you give up spaghetti? I haven't. I just eat a different form of it that doesn't bother me as much.
Right, and that's the thing. But people look at me weirdly because they're like, yo, I mean, that's nasty. Like, no, it's not. And they'll try like, ew, where's the salt? Like, it's not about the salt. I just like the taste of the potato. I get the taste of the potato, dude. Like, I don't need the salt.
Plus, I will say, once you back off some of that stuff that's like really heavy salt, really heavy sugar, stuff like that, your taste buds will kind of adjust. Like, yeah,
like I've noticed anytime I've bite into something and somebody's put some salt, I can immediately feel that salt like crazy. It's so weird. Yeah, it's like so, it's all of a sudden heightened. It's a heightened thing to my taste buds because it's like, ew, what is this?
Yes, despite my current dietary issues, I would get myself back under control. But before that, I dropped like 30 pounds or so, and I'm still mostly in that range. I just put on like another 5 or 6 in the last month or so. But one of the things, like I lowered like my sugar intake on stuff, salt intake on stuff, and what I had read, which might be bullshit, but the point that they had made was that a lot of us get so used to eating all these things that are high in sugar and salt and all this stuff that our taste buds have kind of acclimated to salt and sugars at that level. So, I used to drink like a bunch of sodas, get candies and stuff all the time, all that shit. So I guess the point that they had made is that my taste buds are used to a sugar level that's fairly fucking high. So when I stopped eating that stuff, I found myself like incapable of eating certain things. Like, there's certain candies I just can't fucking touch anymore because I'm just not used to that much sugar. Like I can't eat certain fries from places anymore because the salt is just too much for me to handle most of the time. Like, I can even smell it from a distance at some point.
I like French fries, and I request no salt, but I'd rather not go to a place if I had to get French fries. I'd rather cook them at home because it's like I know I won't fucking kill myself. What's your thought?
I had the same thing with like oily stuff. Like, there was this something, I can't remember what pizza place I used to get it from, but I used to get it all the time. And I was like, no more of this shit. It's like way too oily. It's kind of gross. after like a month or so, maybe 2 of like not touching it anymore, I was like, I'm gonna treat myself to this. I almost threw up when I smelled it. Like I just lost all ability to eat that fucking thing. I've never had it since. It's been like years since I ate that thing. Yeah. So, you know, all those people who say like, how can you not eat this? How can you eat this without sugar or salt? You probably only feel that way because you're used to having a certain level of sugar and salt and you think it's normal, but it's actually quite high. Yeah. Like if you stop eating that stuff for a couple months, you wouldn't be surprised that people don't want to eat it.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised at what you can eat and make without salt. Like I made habanero hot sauce without any salt or anything like that.
I mean, if you got other spices going, like salt isn't that. Salt is not like a magic spice that just makes everything awesome.
Everybody thinks so. It's like it's a weird thing that we're addicted to salt, and I don't know.
You guys need to up your life, man. There's many other spices and stuff you can put on food to make it awesome.
Yeah, definitely. All right, jumping back on track.
I thought we were introducing a new segment, you know, cooking time with Black and Cardiac.
I mean, we can do that because why not? I can teach y'all how to cook some better things. Cook the same things, just eliminate. So honestly, I've realized that you can have a lot of what you normally eat. Just eliminate fucking salt, or don't always fry it. I mean, like those two things, like grease and salt, aren't the end all be all. Like, but we seem to made those two major components of our lives.
Yeah. Before we jump off, I'm just gonna say, if you actually try to cook, you find yourself with a lot of variety. Because I had a lot of people, you know, I would mention the stuff that I don't eat anymore, and like, you're depriving yourself of everything, and it's like, no, I'm not. I'm actually eating a much wider variety than I used to. I just stopped eating a bunch of bullshit, which forced me to be more creative and find different things to cook and learn to do.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, definitely.
Don't think of it as depriving yourself. Thinking of finding better shit.
All right.
Well,
it's always better to cook for yourself anyway, because shit, even if you do quote unquote cook bad stuff, you will probably cook it a lot more better for yourself than a fast food place. Definitely.
That's weirdly true. Like some of those restaurants have like their nutrition facts on it, and I'm just like, I don't understand how you have 500 grams of carbs in this. It's like, it doesn't quite make any sense to me what you put in here to manage that.
Yeah, I know. All the preservatives and
carbs, but you know what I mean. Like,
no, but it's true because this is like with sodium. The way I cook things compared to the way they're made, it's like you realize a lot of this stuff isn't necessarily completely fresh food, which is one problem. You don't get a lot of fresh foods when you eat out. You get stuff that has to be stored and preserved. And what's one of the greatest preservatives of all time? There's been a preservative since it's been discovered. Salt, you know. So that's where you get your sodium loaded up. Certain things that have carbohydrates and that are manufactured have a lot of gluten and carbohydrates in them, because those help preserve the meat or preserve the vegetables or whatever. It's like, yeah,
things you might not think about too. Like I got this salad a couple times, and I looked at its nutrition facts. I was like, that is wild. It must be on the salad dressing or something, because it doesn't make any sense.
I've noticed that, like, because I look at bag salad all the time, and I was like, wow, this whole bag of salad has 1,100 milligrams of sodium, but the fuck, it's lettuce. You just realize, it's like, so. Yeah, that's my next experiment, by the way. I'm gonna learn how to make ranch dressing.
Yeah. And the thing about cooking at home is that you're using simpler ingredients, so less opportunity to kill yourself.
No, if I figure out how to make buttermilk ranch, it's on, because now that I know how to make hot sauce that is more healthier, shit, I could actually make quote unquote buffalo chicken and have like ranch sauce to dip it in and be fine. I just need to learn how to make blue cheese too. I love blue cheese.
It's fun to learn that shit too, because I like orange sauce on chicken and stuff, and I just made it from scratch. I had like orange juice and like honey and little soy sauce.
You just remind me. I need to do that. Thank you for saying that. Yeah.
It's often not as hard to make that type of shit as people might think.
No, it's not. It really isn't. Like the hot sauce, I thought that shit was going to be complicated. Fucking no. That was breezy. Yeah. All right. So last major topic of the evening.
Waffle House, ironically.
Well,
what is it?
Well, no, you did want to talk about the Waffle House, didn't you?
Did I? I mean, we could talk about it. I had asked about it.
Did we mention North Korea and the nuclear? Yeah, we did, and that's when we got off to the cooking thing. Because
we both need to learn how to make Korean food.
Honestly, I want to learn how to make Korean fried chicken. Maybe that's the bee's knees.
There's some fucking thing I had at this Korean restaurant, and like I need to go back and figure out what it was because I need to make it. I don't even know what it was called, but it's my mission to make that shit. It's this weird thing with like ginger and mangoes, and I don't know, it was weird, but I dug it.
It sounds cool, and yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up. Okay, let's get off cooking. God damn it! But we did talk about North Korea and the nuclear thing.
Yes.
So the last major topic is Trump's nominees for this week. So Mike Pompeo, the director of CIA, is up for the Secretary of State. And Dr. Jackson, I forget his name, his first name, Dr. Jackson.
Sorry, Dr. Jackson.
Ronnie Jackson. Oh my God, his name is Ronnie Jackson. He sounds like he could be a part of the Jackson family. Ronnie Jackson, who is the nominee for the head of the Veterans Affairs Administration office, are having trouble getting nominated. Pompeo,
getting them confirmed.
Yeah, Pompeo, of course, is getting flack for his past CIA work, where he was involved in torture, things like that. Mr.
Not
Jackson,
good resume points.
Yes, I'm good at diplomacy. I torture my people.
They feel real fucking diplomatic after that. Oh my God.
Yeah, but Jackson, he has like worse trouble because he's been accused of stuff like sexual assault and misappropriation in the office and like misconduct towards employees and just all types of fucking really, really shady shit.
Which is typical nowadays.
Yeah. But it's typical of Trump and his nominees. Which that's why I wanted to say this for last, because I just need to know why do we keep going back to this position? And why are these people somehow, some of them, skating through his decision making? I don't understand why he chooses who he chooses. Like, I understand Jackson in a way because Jackson was very, very loyal. Jackson lied in front of fucking TV and said that Trump was, even though he has some minor things, he's in good health. Bullshit. That he was 6'3". Bullshit. And that he only weighed 270 pounds. Again, bullshit. Oh, he didn't even say 270. Wasn't it something like 240?
I'm
something
pretty
even
sure
more ridiculous?
He's like 180.
Yeah. His fucking head is 180 pounds. The fuck out
because it's full of hot air.
Okay, I wish I had a rim shot ready. I would have played that. But I see where you're going there. But no, it's like, why are you picking these people? And who is helping you pick these people?
Well, first of all, nobody's helping him pick these people. He just picks these people. These are people he likes, sees on TV sometimes. I mean, there's no way people are suggesting these names to him. And he doesn't listen to anybody anyway, so he probably just thinks like, yeah, these are the people I like, and I'm going to put them there. So I think we got to get away from this notion that anybody's helping him make these decisions. They might probably try to help him make other decisions that he chooses not to make, but not these.
But what if not? Why shouldn't somebody? No, this is important. Somebody again. This is the head of Secretary of State. This is your diplomat. This is your head diplomat. Now you might have scored a couple of cool points with the secret North Korea negotiations, but I need to know that you are capable of coming to the table with other countries when I'm not there and do a sufficient enough job without saying anything stupid or doing anything stupid.
Whose perspective are you talking from? Like when you said when I'm not there?
Meaning if I'm the president, that should be your thought. Therefore, we don't get that perspective because we have a nut job as a president. So someone else has to step up.
Okay, yeah.
It's like, again,
I was getting confused when you said that because I was like, if Trump was there, he definitely would say something stupid. So what are you talking about?
No, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm building to the point. The point I'm building to is like with George Jr. Again, people always, blaze them for being stupid. But he clearly wasn't that stupid because he surrounded himself with qualified people to make qualified decisions and to help him. Now, we may not have all liked those decisions, and we may not have liked those people, but when he was incapable of doing certain things, he at least had somebody to tap to say, okay, what do we need to do? Or just tap him on the shoulders like, we probably shouldn't do that. Here's, A, B, and C as to why we shouldn't do that. And he was able to make an informed decision when he had to make a decision himself. What is wrong with the idea of, like, with Trump? You already have that. That's the thing that kills me about him is like he talks about how great of a businessman he is. But if you look at the structure of business, you have your board of directors, you have your council, you have your advisors that you listen to. Why isn't it the same way with the president? Like you keep talking about running it like a business. What? You have a structure within business that is akin to government. What the fuck? Ask somebody
in his businesses.
He has to because he doesn't do business. Let's be honest. He doesn't run shit.
Yes, but his companies are failures. So
this is true.
Maybe if he had that in his businesses, they wouldn't be in the types of troubles they've been in.
This is true.
Not that I'm trying to like throw shade or whatever at this guy, but it's hard for me to say like, but they do this in the business world. Yes, I'm sure successful businesses do shit like that. What does Trump do is the real question we need to answer. And your main point about how we keep ending up here. It's weird and not funny, but not funny because of the way he kept bragging over and over. I hire the best people. But you can't keep any of them in a position for more than like 5 minutes because none of them are qualified. One, none of them are qualified for the particular jobs you keep putting them in, most of the time at least. And two, they keep getting caught up in fucking scandals. So
yeah, and that's the thing. It's not just like they're not qualified, but these are people with serious issues. It's not like I would accept it a little bit more if you gave me somebody who's qualified, who sounds like they have an understanding. But he not only has people who are not qualified. They don't seem to understand what their position is. And they're not trustworthy people. I hate to go back to and slay you, Ben, but the fucking $30,000 table and chairs? Seriously? Really? This is what we doing in the housing and urban development department? We're not housing or developing anything. We're just getting us some new furniture.
I guess you could argue that falls under their jurisdiction. It's part of housing.
Okay, so if he was getting it to donate to a person's house that they were building for him, all right, I'll concede that. But he was buying himself some personal furniture for his office, not even for his home, for his office.
I'm trying to defend Dr. Carson, sir.
Or what about the Department of Energy head? I forget his name.
Scott Pruitt. No, sorry.
Is it Price? Is Price the one? Doesn't matter. Fucking like dirtbag should be his name because he's out there taking jet setting in government planes and spending money on details for shopping trips and all that shit. It's like, yo, they should know better, but they don't because you don't know better.
I don't know what to say to that. I shouldn't even brought up Scott Pruitt's name because he's yet another example of that. We don't know what the fuck Betsy DeVos is doing. Like, I can't tell if she's being...
Yeah, she just got roasted for something because she was talking about shutting down something. What was it that Betsy DeVos did this week? See, and again, this is a problem that you will always have if you're going to do a political podcast these days because there's always something.
I mean, why you look at that? What I was going to say was like, a lot of the times with her, I can't tell if she's actually being corrupt or if she's just really stupid. Just whenever she talks, it's like, what the fuck is going on here? I feel like I need to watch you, but I don't feel like you're really capable of being that dangerous sometimes. Betsy DeVos. You got a cool name though. I mean, yeah, a weird amount of scandal from these people that he keeps picking because they're the best people. I mean, we don't have a Department of fucking State that ought to tell you something about his staffing abilities there, but I guarantee if you brought it up, he'd still say we picked the best people. Because he speaks literally in hyperbole, so he just cannot not say things like that. Where the fuck is... You know what?
That's what she did. She shut down investigations for violations of schools, including discrimination. She's basically ignoring complaints, and they called her on that.
So did she defend herself? Did she say why?
As far as I know, she didn't really have a good reason. No, her reason was it's distracting to what they're doing.
What are they doing?
Can't tell you that. I really don't know.
Are they what is her goal? What does she want?
She feels like all the complaints being filled by the Department of Education are distractions. So she's like, yeah, we just don't really need to address a lot of these.
From what? Fucking education? Like, I don't recall her saying, and maybe it's just my bad memory at this point, like, you know, when she took up this role that she wants to pursue, you know, XYZ or whatever, these particular things, this notion that complaints to the department are distractions would imply that they are distractions from something in particular. I mean, I'm sure they have their day-to-day shit that they deal with. Probably not her, but you feel you are being distracted by having to deal with problems that affect kids who are the people you're supposed to be fucking responsible to, right?
Ain't her problem. Y'all need to address it yourselves.
Why does everybody keep coming to me with these problems about
like
these
you
stupid
think
kids?
that my job was to fix things for people? Jeez.
I want to know. And there was one more thing I was going to bring up, but where the fuck is Jared? Is he alive? Like, what is he doing?
Yo, he's been kind of hiding out since he got brought up a few, like, what was it, a month and a half ago or 2 months ago? When they said implicated him as probably a major component of the whole investigation. He has been. So is his wife, actually. His wife hasn't been that.
Isn't he supposed to be fixing the Middle East? Like, what the fuck is he? Maybe he's on like some secret mission in the Middle East and he's just like taking down all the heads of terrorist organizations and
Well,
stuff.
we already know what that mission was.
What was it?
He brokered the deal for the greatest Royal Rumble. Duh. That's why they're having a Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. Never happened before.
Fucking asshole.
That fixes the goddamn Middle East by having fucking Triple H versus John Cena.
You know that's why Vince is doing this shit, because it's like he wants to say he's the one that fixed the Middle East.
Yeah, like, oh, look at me. Nobody's ever done this in, like, you know, Saudi Arabia.
He's inspired by Trump.
The funny thing is that he has controversy over the greatest Royal Rumble because of the way it's set up. So I don't know.
No women for you.
Exactly, because they don't allow them to do those things.
Are they even allowed at the as attendants to view the show?
That's a good question. I wonder if they are,
because I don't believe they are. So, I mean, they might be now. I don't remember. I know rules like that type of stuff changed, but they were not before. So,
and
you know, for those of you who don't know what the fuck we're talking about, WWE is having a very big show over in Saudi Arabia and Jeddah, and despite the number of awesome women they have, Naomi, Ruby Riott, not Nia, fuck you. I'm still hot with her. She's still a heel in my book. I don't give a fuck. But lots of talented ladies in the divisions nowadays. They will not be competing on any of those shows because of rules. I can't remember exactly what the fucking issue with that is, but essentially they have vaginas, so it's a no.
Yeah, exactly. So unless they wanted to wrestle maybe in, full Arabic garb where they cover up their mask and do swanton bombs.
Where were they when they did that match between Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks and they had to actually cover up?
That was Dubai. I believe that was Dubai.
Yes, they had to wear like special ring gear to cover up their bodies to wrestle in these places, like full length, covered like everything from the shoulders down to the feet, except like the hands, I guess, obviously. Like, I mean, they were interesting looking suits, but
the Middle East is baby stepping, I guess. I don't know. Okay, hey, they've showed their first movie in God knows how long.
Titanic.
No, it was Black Panther.
The Muppets movie. Oh.
Yeah, Black Panther was the first to actually be allowed in the country for a minute. So.
Yes, but I don't know. I want to say like congrats to somebody like WWE, and they are making baby steps with their women stuff, I suppose, which is good. You said hesitantly. It's weird because you mentioned that controversy, and it is kind of a controversy. I mean, we obviously are trying to be more equal with women here, and then they're not allowed to go to that fucking show there because you go to somebody else's land, you play by their rules or something, I guess. But to do that, I don't know. What do you feel about it? Because I feel like doing that kind of condones that thought process.
Right. Yeah. It puts one is telling of who is in charge of WWE, which is Vince McMahon, who is not the most scrupled person in the world. The money means more to him than anything else. But yeah, it does seem like you're agreeing with this for the paycheck,
which must be fucking huge because it's not exactly Royal Rumble season right now, and yet we're having the biggest one ever.
There's never been a Royal Rumble this big. That's why they call it that.
Yeah, it's 50 people.
Fucking people. You fucking have a good lion's share of your roster. You barely get 50 people seen on TV within a month. Get 50 of them showing up.
You know what's going to make me pop? When Nicholas is entrant number 50.
If they did, honestly, I wouldn't be mad if they did that because at least you got to get some real payoff off this Nicholas shit because that whole thing was just dumb.
But I mean, it is odd, and I feel like it might make people feel weird when you say that, but yeah, they are doing better with their women's stuff, but they need to do better. I mean, we're over here trying to fix the way we treat women. We've done quite a bit, and it's certainly not like we're fucking done. So obviously, we value the concept of treating women with equality.
Yeah, we've gotten to the point where we at least have acknowledged that they are people with
get jobs.
input. Over there, it's still hard as shit to get that.
Let's start actually punishing people for sexually harassing you. Yeah, we're making our steps. I shouldn't demean it that much. I mean, over the last 100 years or so, we have come quite far.
No,
but
yeah.
I remember it must have been Saudi Arabia, like some months back, the story broke that they were going to allow women to drive or something like that. And I was like, it's kind of sarcastically like, yeah, good job. Welcome to modern era.
Right. It's like you've made it to the late 1800s. Hat on the back.
Somebody got really mad at me for saying that because they were like, I mean, they kind of made it seem like I was being racist or something, but it was like, I'm not. I think that universally we ought to give women equality. We're not just doing that because it's an American thing. We're doing it because it's the logical thing. That's why they're fucking doing it and moving in the same direction we are, because it's right? So
yeah.
There's this weird feeling people have about criticizing anybody else's culture but your own. But it's like, you can criticize them. I mean, don't be racist or something when you do it, but
yeah,
some values are not cultural. They're just logically universal. Like women should be equal peoples despite their vaginas.
Yeah. Just to go right back to the whole choices of President Trump. Oh my God, I said that full title. Where's my alcohol? I'm hurting. Should have said that.
Would you prefer to call him Lord Trump?
No, just Cheeto.
Doesn't really matter what you prefer. He's gonna make sure you call him that by the end of this term.
No, just Cheeto, man.
It's gonna be like right after his military parade. But yeah.
Joe, speaking of which, he kind of got that today, of all things. Remember I sent you an article, like, long story short, the president of France is in town, and first of all, he trolled the fuck out of the president by bringing a peace offering, a tree to plant for the environment. I found
nerd
hilarious because it's like, yo, yeah, you're throwing shots at him for withdrawing out of the peace, the Paris, drawing out the Paris Peace Accord. Yeah, you throwing shade, sir, and I love it. I dig that. But furthermore, Trump had a military review for this guy. Now, they say it's a traditional review. Do they? I don't recall any time the president met with anybody else. At least any previous presidents having the military review or a visit like this, or at least them pointing it out. How childish is that? Because we know where that derived from. Because he went to Paris and they had the whole parade with the military, and that's what sparked that idiot's whole desire to have a military parade and fuck up DC streets worse than they already are, and shit like that.
We have to show our power.
No, you really don't need to. You see your power in all the stuff that's all over the world. So shut up. Shut up.
Until we stop seeing that shit.
I really don't want. I really don't want that. But it's like, I'm sorry, but Macron's petty was better than yours. The tree and the fact that you're on TV having to shovel a tree to plant for the environment.
He should have been kicked out of the country with that shit. Because I don't see the link to this article you must have sent me at some point. But if he did that for real, we should have kicked him out immediately. Like,
no, I know pictures of him and Trump. There's video footage of him and Trump digging the hole to plant the tree.
Trump did some work.
Exactly. Not only did he troll him with the tree shit, he got him to do something environmentally right. And it's like, I'm sure Trump has no clue at all what he was actually a part of. But yes.
Nobody better point that shit out because he'll dig that tree right the fuck up.
Oh my God. He dig all the trees up from in front of the White House.
They probably smoked that tree. Don't fuck with him.
I just found that very, very humorous.
Oh, yeah, they did do that.
Mm-hmm.
Neat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We need to kick. Don't let that motherfucker back in the country. All right. I know we have an idiot as president, but he's the president. Stop being an asshole. All right. He'll come in here pulling that shit.
No, I 100% approve of it because again, it's a gesture of, like peace and friendship. So you can't say anything.
Oh my god.
What are you gonna say? Sorry, I don't want your gift. You fucking tree hugging, like commie or whatever he thinks of France or whatever.
Liberal hippie pussy, go back and eat your fucking macarons or whatever the fuck they're called. That's my name, sir. Get the fuck out. Somebody get me a cheeseburger. Sick of this French shit.
Like, so do you want French fries with that, sir? Like,
don't ever say that because you know the next day.
That's right, they're freedom fries. I remember we had changed that name.
the next day we're gonna have a law that says you cannot refer to them as French fries. They're just gonna be fries from now on. That's it. No more of this shit. This guy is a handsome guy, and his hands are quite large.
Oh, Macron.
Trump.
Oh.
I was looking at the video of them doing that, and there's like the shot of him like holding his hands up like this and talking all weird. And I was gonna be a dick, but I was like, I should not be a dick. I should attack him for his ideas, not his fucking face.
No, you can attack him for his face because he's always had that like weird, fucked up, like you look like a monster face.
Why does he make these faces? Why?
Yeah, see?
Why can't you even just stand there like a person and not make a face?
See?
Sorry. What I was going to say was his relationship with the leaders of the countries that are supposed to be our allies is fucking weird. Like he tweeted out something like, you know, thoughts and prayers or whatever to Canada because they had that dude that ran over a bunch of people.
Right.
And I was like, a few weeks ago you were bragging about lying to his face. I'm not saying you shouldn't send your condolences or whatever. You're the president, I guess, so you ought to do that. But it would seem to me to hold little weight when you bragged about being a liar to him.
Yeah, no, he does stupid things like again, today, he gave a glaringly positive compliment to Kim Jong-un, the man who he called Rocket Man, the man he's threatened with bombing the shit out. Talking about how he's a great negotiator. He really likes, you know, he thinks he's a fair leader. It's like, wait. 2 weeks ago, you were fucking trying to like provoke this dude into a fight. Now all of a sudden, he's the greatest thing on earth. What the fuck is?
I mean, it's like, you know, when you're back in school and you have like a group of kids, and there's always like that one kid who's just a fucking psycho, and everybody's like nervously like, what the fuck's with that guy? He's just always acting weird for some reason. Trump's that kid. He's just, I just imagine that's how all the world leaders are. They must like talk to each other, and they're like, what do we do? Are we supposed to take him seriously? Like France, like what did you do when you talked to him? Did you shake hands? Did he try to grab you? Like what happened? Just we just need to know so like, when we talk to him, it won't be weird. And France is just like, it's gonna be weird no matter what you do, dog. I just planted a tree. He didn't even seem to get the joke. Whatever.
Yeah, just totally missed like what was happening here. Like you dumb asshole.
At least we have a new tree, so maybe we'll stop global warming with that tree. So
I'm sure he's hoping it's a cheeseburger tree. So what else is there to talk about that's major? I mean, we could talk about the Milani shit that people are making a big deal over, which I annoyed the fuck over.
Which thing in particular?
First of all, her representation at Barbara Bush's funeral.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. That we lost Lady Bush.
Yeah, rolling over to like she had like some type of meeting overseas to rolling over to everybody was in love with her hat. Rolling over to apparently she looked good and acted well at a state dinner last night. And it's just like, wait. One of the articles said something about like Melania is finally hitting all the right marks and stuff like that. And it's like, dude, she just went and said hi to a couple of people and ate dinner.
Okay, but I said this, some podcast back, and I think Katina might have been on that podcast too, and I was making the point that she is the most liked out of all of them, or at least the least hated, and she doesn't really have to do much. She just has to not be an asshole, which I think a lot of people miss about her. Is like, she's not out here being a complete fucking psycho, trying to tear down all the laws that keep us safe, pissing off world leaders. She mostly just like shuts the fuck up and then appears when she absolutely has to and acts like a person. Which a lot of people are like, well, that's the bare minimum. It's surprising how many other people there can't pull off the bare minimum. So
yeah, and it also made me think like when I say we, I don't mean me and you, but we as like and people in general, I should say, have seemed to complain about her role as first lady. Now, I do take swipes at the whole bullying thing because I mean, again, look at who she's married to. She's talking about cyberbullying, and this guy's always on fucking Twitter, threatening and harassing people.
I have a tweet I want to read in regard to that later, but go ahead.
Oh my God. Not again.
It was the one all around the news. It was the other day. There's that thing about Haberman or whatever.
Oh, okay. But yeah, you talk about that, and then they try to compare it to, of course, Micheal. That happens way too much. And the other first ladies, and it's like, why is it a thing now in the modern era that a first lady has to be very, very active in some regards? Why? She's, especially with her, because I feel like she's a rare case. Like, she's the first lady who was never prepared for this type of life or never even imagined. It's like your husband just decided to take his crazy ass and run for president just to make a point, not realizing that he'd actually have to do work. And, you were never taught how to be, how to react in these situations, what's going on and things like that. You don't have any experience like most first ladies do of being in this limelight, even if it's on a smaller scale, and having an understanding of like, there's some things that people might expect from you. There's some things that you might not. All she was just the wife of a billionaire. And she goes from like that to a complete 180 where now you have to have some sort of focus. And of course, people who preceded you had their own agendas and programs. But does she really need an agenda or program or need to do much?
I would say no. And I think, to the point you're making, like, we probably forced that onto her because it's just kind of an expectation. There have been other first ladies in history who have taken on their own interests and done shit. Micheal being the most recent, and she was fairly active. I think people seem to assume that is a requirement of the first lady. Maybe we need to make it more explicit that it's not, because to me it wasn't really fair to expect her to do anything in the first place. I wasn't sure why, people would start bringing that shit up when Trump first won. Like, what is Melania going to do? I was like, why the fuck does she have to do anything? She's not the president.
Yeah, no, and I understand she has a position where she has a voice that can be heard by many. But yeah, it's not. She's the wife of the president.
So is first lady a job though?
That's the thing. It's not. It's a title.
It's not like a job that she is choosing to. Like, if like, let's say you're married or something and you get a new job as a stripper. I guess I don't know what the fuck you do, but why should that mean that your wife has to take on any responsibilities just because you have a new job?
Yeah, no.
Like, no other job works like that. So why should this one?
Yeah, no.
I think it's fine if the first lady wants to do that, but fuck off.
Yeah, and if I was her, I would like the anonymity.
Which people seem to claim that she is like that anyway, that she values her privacy, that she's always been a private person or whatever. So maybe shame on all of us for expecting her to do some shit where it's not like she ran to be first lady. That didn't happen.
It's like you think back to the speech at the where she literally stole Michelle Obama's speech. That wasn't her choosing. That was them writing for her because she don't know what. Like, why am I speaking here? Because Michelle spoke. Okay. Do I have to? Like, she's like, shit. Sure, just tell me what to say and I'll say it. And that's how it came off. It was like somebody who was just reading off a prompter. Which I don't knock her because it's like, fuck, she wasn't supposed to be in this in the first place.
This is not a situation she exactly chose. And even during, the campaign stuff, like she may have endorsed her husband a time or two, but it's not like she was out there hard on that fucking trail with this guy. Like, she was doing her thing. She was living her life like she always had. Yeah. Like, it honestly feels like she only does this stuff because people make her. I don't sense any extreme interest in this for her.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't. I feel like she just. Although I will say this, I would say like when she does show up places, like at the funeral, she seems to her demeanor changes. Like that picture they showed with all of them together, like all the living presidents, all the living former presidents, and their wives. Plus, they added, like, honestly, she didn't even need to be in that picture. But they put her in that picture because it would have been just a cool thing if you just had all the living presidents and their wives, But
I feel like she needed to be. I feel like it was.
I feel like they wanted her to be there, though. That's the thing. Like you see the video of her having conversations with people doing the thing. People like, despite her husband, people seem to enjoy Melania.
Yeah, and that's why I said I feel like it was good to have her in that picture because it showed an important point. It's not like just, I mean, I guess the rest of the people in that picture showed this point too, but it's a good reminder that it's not just this, partisan issue where one side hates the other. It's him. It's Trump in particular. He is not despised because he's conservative or Republican or whatever the fuck he thinks he is. It's because he's a terrible person and he's making horrific decisions.
Yeah.
That's why Melania is not getting that heat. Because she's not really doing anything all that wrong. So why would you treat her any worse?
And now you have the reversal where everybody's getting like, oh, she's just been perfect. Like, she's probably not being perfect or doing anything special. She's just being herself because, fuck, I got to be in this position. I might as well, like, play nice. Like, she's not it's clear that she's not a douchebag person. So why would you expect her to go out and be a douchebag person just because she's married to a douchebag person? It's just like Dick Cheney's wife. Dick Cheney's wife is one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet in the world. Dick Cheney's not.
Which is it's so fucking weird with her because she's like the only one there that you can't really hate. Like, I mean, you might knock her for marrying a millionaire, whatever the fuck he is. What was it you said?
Do you hate Barron?
No. I remember early in, some people were making fun of that kid. I was like, don't fucking do that.
He has it bad enough. Look at his father.
Yeah. He probably knows his father fucked a porn star like right when he was born, so he's probably not having a good day these days, you know what I mean?
No, it's like, yeah.
Like, I hope he gets homeschooled because he must be getting some rough fucking shit if he goes to school. Good God.
Yeah, even if you went to a mainly conservative school, I'm sure he gets the business.
That is a rough legacy to live under. But I thought it showed an important point. It's not like you're just hating on these people for political reasons. Most of the people that are getting all this heat deserve the heat. They're doing things wrong.
Yeah.
They're drowning in scandals. That's why when Melania goes out and doesn't get the same shit, you guys shouldn't be shocked because she's not like fixing the world, but she's not doing anything wrong either.
No.
And even on that bullying thing, by the way, why can't Trump go a day without bullying anybody? It was like, it must have been Saturday or something, this tweet he sent out, the New York Times and a third-rate reporter named Maggie Haberman, which it looks like he might have misspelled here, known as a Crooked H flunky, who I don't speak to and have nothing to do with, are going out of their way to destroy Michael Cohen and his relationship with me in the hopes that he will flip. They use non-existent sources. This guy's use of quotes is excellent. And a drunk/drugged up loser who hates Michael, a fine person with a wonderful family. You know, blah, blah, blah. You know, because of the witch and all that shit. Like, he can't even send tweets like this without insulting people, you know, calling her a third-rate reporter for what? Reporting? Calling people, I don't know who exactly he was referring to, that drugged up loser thing.
I don't know, but it's like, I get like, okay, so I can get some of the angst towards New York. This was the Post, right?
It was the New York Times.
Oh, it's the Times. Okay, so I still get some of the angst because they didn't endorse him, and they don't really have a high opinion of him. So I can understand him being a little upset because they don't get along. But to go on that type of rant, that's very, very, that's unstable. That's really, really unstable. Like, I'm sure if I went to his Twitter right now, I'm not going to do it. He has something else unstable to say.
No, he's just endorsing some people.
And who is he endorsing?
I don't even know how to say this name. Jim Renassi or something has worked so hard on tax reductions, illegal immigration, the border, and crime. Blah, blah, blah. He's pretty much getting people to go out and vote for this Ohio thing coming up.
Okay, so that guy's going to lose his election. All right, cool.
Well, he got to be a dick, man. And he endorsed somebody else in Arizona. I mean, he should, you know what? I take it back. He should probably stop doing that because it's not working out for people.
No, it's not.
He should just shut the fuck up.
And the fact that he insinuates different things about those elections sometimes, like he did with the Alabama thing, and you just make it worse for people. Just go away. Seriously.
I'm just looking at this picture of like, I think it's when Macron is there. I think that's what I'm looking at. You know, Trump and Melania are up there like raising their hand and stuff to their chest. I guess they're doing the pledge. I don't know what this image is of. But, you know, Melania's in all white, and I guess that must be the fucking hat you might be
Yeah, like
about.
that's a hat, because people were talking about how the importance of the hat. I'm like, really? Y'all are that starved for some type of positive news about someone in the Trump administration. They're
starved for a good reason, but I just thought it was like, I'm not reading into it, but I just thought it was funny. It was like she's like the light side and he's the dark side. I just like the way that image is kind of set up there.
That's true. That's sad. But that's true. Okay, whatever. Y'all stop hyping her. It's like, okay, she's done some good things this week. Cool, but don't expect that of her.
She's fixing bullying, man. You dick.
She wants to fix bullying. She wants to prove to me that she's serious about cyberbullying. Find a way to get your husband to delete his Twitter.
I don't feel like she should. I feel like she should be able to say without impunity or anything. Somebody wanted me to take on a goal, so I picked bullying. I don't really have a strong vested interest in this. I'm not going to work on it. My bad, and just back off. And then we should just kind of let it go because I didn't see any reason for her to do that anyway.
I feel like it's not her making that decision, though. I really do feel like it's people behind her.
That's me. Like, we as a society should just all get up and say, you know what? We're releasing you from this. We're going to stop making fun of you.
It's getting close, because although I will say it's getting close in a bad way, because I feel like we were victimizing her a lot lately. Like general, like everybody's like, that poor woman, he's got to be married with her. Or like that picture somebody sent me. They sent a picture of all of them together from the funeral. And what was their caption? They put, when you finally can all get together for a group chat because that one person got rid of the person we don't like or some shit like that. It's like, okay.
I mean, as scary as it is, she'd probably make a better president. than Donald Trump. Tell me I'm wrong.
Okay, that's a good place to end the note because I will not say anything. I will just listen to my mom. Don't have anything good to say at all.
You don't agree? Right. You don't think
no,
you could
I agree.
at least...
That's the thing that's not good to say is that I agree. That's not a good thing to say. A fucking former porn star would make a goddamn... Yes, I know it's soft porn, whatever. She had some penetrations work done. Anyway, but to have that... It's funny, too, that you brought that up because I mentioned this on my Facebook about how, like, you know how we're always saying, like, well, this is better than Trump all the time? To me, is that a compliment or is that an insult? Because I have to feel like it's an insult simply because to be better than Trump means that you have a particularly low bar to clear. So...
Fair.
What does that mean by you? It's like I'm just above Trump. I don't like that because I feel insulted.
I think she's a little higher than just above. Because I mean, the point I was making there was that she is an average person. And any person could do better. Because at least with her, I would trust her to at the very least, even though I know she has no idea about fucking anything probably. It looks like you could trust her to put it in the hands of people who do know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
And you can't even trust him doing that much. So
true.
I guess in fairness, you could also argue a dog would be a better president.
Exactly. Really. See, from that dog, I'd bite the shit out of you if I heard you say that. Like, dude, I'm much better than that. Come on.
If you just keep it away from the nuclear button thing, we'd probably be a little better off. I know some people don't want to hear me say that, but I feel like I could make this argument. Like, if you gave me a day or so, I could make a strong argument for why a well-trained dog.
Because it's sad that argument's so transparent. It's like, yeah, I hear you. I agree.
I will say that porn star thing, though. I was listening to the news this morning, and they were bringing up, I don't know who this fucking woman is. Is she a new woman? What is her fucking name? Whatever. Some woman who claimed that Donald Trump tried to pay her to come up to his hotel room or something, like 10 grand or something like that. And I hadn't noticed her before, so I don't know if she's a new woman, but whatever. Some lady among the many. And somebody made like a passing comment where it's like, you know, even porn stars, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, why do we keep qualifying our statements with like, even a porn star, even this, that's like, is there any particular reason to think that porn stars are particularly bad people? Like when we say, like even Stormy Daniels is more credible. It's like, is there a particular reason to think porn stars are liars? I've never seen that
moral, like it's a morality thing because even though porn is a legally accepted profession, people still tie the moral thing because like you're getting paid to have sex with a lot of people, but legally you're again that step above something that people find worse, which is, you know,
I feel like they need to
prostitution, which personally we should do like Canada and legalize that shit.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I think the people who have an issue with that need to take a step back and really try to make a strong argument for why it's immoral in the first place. Because I feel like a lot of us are just starting with the assumption that a porn star or a sex worker of any kind is inherently less trustful than anybody else. And like, you know, if I was in a room with a porn star and a used car salesman, I'm probably going to trust the porn star first.
Yeah.
So it's like, it could be the case that they're less trustful, but I've never seen anything like a study or anything that indicates that that's true. So I don't know why.
They're actually more trustworthy because at least they're honest about what type of people they are, what they're into. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's like you can make an argument that it's hard to call out a porn star for like being trustworthy because this person openly lets the world know, yeah, I fuck for money and all of that.
I did want to bring that up because I feel like a lot of people get away with those little passing statements, and I always wonder how those women feel. Not all of them are porn stars. Some of them are just like models, but they get the same kind of treatment too, where it's like there's this assumption everybody is starting with that they're not trustworthy. But hey, Donald Trump is so much less trustworthy. Let's kind of roll with it. But it's like, did you establish that these women were liars before? Like, what is your fucking problem with?
Yeah, no, the whole like, you want to believe a porn star? Like, yes, I do want to believe a porn star. It's because she does a job that I wouldn't do. Doesn't mean it's like
you have a president that's less credible than a porn star. What is the
and
bar?
that's a sad thing. You can like again, it's that low bar. It's like, gee, what do I feel like if like this clearly dirtbag of a person is something that I just rate over? Ew.
Are you saying the porn star is a dirtbag of a person?
No, I'm just saying Trump is.
Yeah.
But you are at least better than that. That's insulting.
Yeah. I guess that is the point. That's a weird way to put it because it's like you should expect the president to be one of the most credible people in the country. So I don't know. I just wish people would think more about that, the way they keep phrasing these statements. And I'm sure if you go through the podcast, you'll probably catch me doing it a couple of times too, which is odd because I don't really have any particular feeling that porn stars are not trustworthy. So I don't know where that feeling comes from.
Yeah, it's just like we just peg certain professions. Just like we all say all lawyers are horrible people.
They are. They're
like,
fucking scumbags. Sorry.
But not all of them are. It's like, do you think that lawyer that negotiates to get a child out of a broken home is a dirtbag? Yes. Do you think that lawyer who, you know, protects, like, gets free counsel to rape victims is a dirtbag? You know what I mean? Like,
those are terrible people. But I mean, even in the case of lawyers, though, you could at least make the argument that the nature of their profession can sometimes lead them to be, they have incentives to more than the average worker to be, if not dishonest, then kind of skirting the boundaries of efficacy, I guess. But again, to your point, not all of them are like that. And lawyers do a lot of good, important work getting innocent people out of trouble. But even the porn star thing, like, what is the particular incentive for them to be liars? You're on camera fucking people with your face on camera. There's no reason for you to lie. Obviously, you're not lying. You're not wearing a mask. You're not doing anything. Yeah. We know it's you, motherfucker.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that is a very weird thing.
I'm out here sticking up for the porn stars, so fuck you guys. I stick up for all.
I don't know if this is a good ending point or not, but I guess we can end on this. Porn star
2020 porn star for president. I'm not.
You know what? Find me a credible enough porn star, and I'll vote for him or her.
I bet you there's a porn star somewhere that like governor or something.
I would love to know if there was a porn star who ran for political office and actually had, like, you know, a poli-sci degree and all that shit. Like, yeah, I actually do care about this stuff. That would be so awesome. Because then him or her could, like, oh man, that would make them so uncomfortable. I should go find some politically minded porn stars.
That's how you determine the vote. Like, you know, I thought, you know, these scenes were pretty good, but this one, you went a bit far. You know, I can't vote for that. Feet? Come on, dog.
One last note before we go, since we're on the porn thing. Have you ever seen anything with Stormy Daniels in it?
No.
I just thought, yeah, that just popped in my head all of a sudden because it's like, you know, as much as we talk about Stormy Daniels and what she did, I have not clue one of what she actually did. Specifically, like, I know what her job was, but I have really no evidence of this job.
And I think That's actually an interesting point because we keep referring to her as porn star Stormy Daniels. I'm assuming she's retired by now. Well, and I've never heard anybody say that they watched any of her stuff, which means she's probably been retired for a while.
Yeah, I
she's
really
not
don't.
Even a porn star now.
But she has one of those weird porn star relationships where her husband's like, "I'll see you later, honey. Go fuck for a living."
I mean, is she currently? When is the last time she was married? Porn star? I was going to say she's currently a porn star.
That's a good question. Now we need to IMDb Stormy Daniels.
Let's see. I was trying to Google this. I like how we just stopped the show to just to figure out.
Yeah, I know, guys. We're in it. You know how it is. And see, here's a weird thing, because this is a weird fact that I know about porn that some people don't know. Even though she could have her last credit as, say, this year, it might have been something that she taped like years ago, because they don't always publish everybody's.
This Wikipedia, she can't be legit.
Yeah, because see, the IMDb, she has her own IMDb page, by the way. IMDb page that she has says that the last film that she was in was in 2016.
I mean, the thing that caught my attention is I was looking at the her wiki page, and I just searched for the word retire, and I ended up under the politics section, and it says, a group of fans attempted to recruit Daniels to run against Republican Senator David Vitter in Louisiana in 2010.
You know, I don't even want to tempt that as like being credible and look it up.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think she announced that she wasn't going to run for the Senate or whatever, but no, actually, I guess in April that year, she declared herself a Republican candidate. This can't be legit.
Okay, do you know what? Let her run and win. I would love to see what they would do. The porn star on this side. Again, off topic because we're on the porn. Why are dudes' names so stupid?
I don't know what dudes' names are.
No, again, I'm on IMDb, so I can see it. And this
give me an example.
His name is Ryan Driller. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, dude, is that the best that you could have done? Ryan Driller.
I like it. It's strong. I'm sure he has like some sort of weird spinny finishing move that he does in porn videos.
Ryan Driller. Here's a fun fact too. She gets credit for the 40-year-old version.
Was she in that movie?
Yeah, as a porn star. I guess she was the person in that scene. So they just list her as porn star. So I guess, do you remember that scene where they locked them in the room to watch porn? Maybe that's what it is.
I don't remember, but I guess Stormy's been with us our whole lives and we never knew.
No, I seriously need to see, like, what the fuck was her role?
You know what I want to know? If searches of her videos like spiked since this whole thing happened.
I'm sure.
Like all of a sudden, like, you know, she's been out of the game for a while. Nobody talks about it anymore. And then all of a sudden,
for me, I've never thought of looking up her work. I don't care.
Pornhub must be making like a lot of money if they have anything. Like,
oh, I'm sure they are. You're making me want to actually go and try to search and see like what's going on. But we'll save that for another episode. We'll do that one with Katina, and I'll show her. I'll let her review the full footage of Stormy Daniels.
She has to give us a full review. Not even like she has to watch the whole video and like take notes. You have to find the longest video and make sure she.
I really, really wish I could do something like that in the live stream.
I wanted to talk about the lighting, the angles, fucking the storyline. If it's one of those things that has like an actual like story.
Okay. You know what? That's what I probably should have introduced her to, was a storyline once she could laugh. a little Easter into it, but no, I just had to go
You had to
to
go dark as fuck.
Yeah, I had to go to a dark corner. It's fine. It's fine. All right, we're rambling.
You know what 40 penises equals?
Yeah, we need to go. We're rambling on porn. This has gotten out of hand.
I'd like to figure out the answer to this question by next week as to when she retired. Assuming she's retired, maybe she's working on some new shit. I don't fucking know. We need some answers, and we'll get them next week.
That would be so fucking dumb if she's still.
I bet there's somebody out there who really, really wants to make like some sort of weird parody thing with like her and a Trump-based actor. And they're willing to put down top dollar for this shit. I bet there's already a parody. I bet if you searched the parody about her and Trump, it exists. Yeah, and now I feel gross.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting here like looking up. No, she really was going to run in 2010. That's crazy.
Well, maybe she can run for president. Wouldn't it be so American?
Oh my gosh, she's done a porn movie with her former husband. What the fuck?
Sick. Would it be so America is awesome if like our first female president was a porn star? I'm sure that wouldn't fuck up society.
Yeah, I would.
Like all these women would be. Really
Actually,
pissed.
let's even do it better. Let it be Cardi B.
Is she a porn star?
No, she used to be a stripper.
Yeah. Did she?
Huh? Yeah. Well,
I've literally only seen her in one song, so I don't even know like anything about her.
Yeah, she's a former New York stripper. Game rapper.
Oh, I hope Stormy Daniels is getting like royalties from all the searches that are coming up now.
Not if it's on Pornhub. She's out of luck, but
they don't pay the porn stars.
No, they don't. It's internet clips, free domain.
Right.
I know.
She's making them a shit.
I mean, she could probably have them pull that stuff.
She must be making a shit ton of money. Come on. All right.
All right. Let's do the wrap up.
This is a dark hole that we're never.
Because yeah, we're getting into a deep tainted hole. We've extended like
deep tainted hole.
Oh, anyway, thank you guys again for putting up with our bullshit and listening to us in our shenanigans. Go play God of War if you have a PlayStation 4, please. I highly recommend.
You owe it. Do you love yourselves? Do you care about your own happiness? You play that fucking game. Fuck it.
Yes, you should really listen to the man. He's right on this one. Just don't. Let's just leave it at there. That's a nice way to end. Anyway, thank you again. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time with the Reason Reborn. Clear your search browsers, please, because I know some of y'all probably listening to us and probably did the same searches. So clear them before your wife or your significant other finds out that you're looking up porn because of these two idiots that you're watching. All right, y'all. Take it easy. Peace.